Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner and to a Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. As you can see here, I've got a Pale Moon deck featuring Silver Thorns and Luquier, as it's really the only way to play the deck to any decent level of success, as the Silver Thorn subclan is really good at what it does. Pale Moon itself is a clan that's based around building up soul and then calling units out of it, kind of a bit of a toolbox. And the Silver Thorn subclan is able to have a greater degree of control for what you're putting into the soul rather than just randomly soul charging. It's kind of like how Regalia is able to use the drop zone for building up soul rather than always just soul charging, hoping the guy don't hit triggers. With this, you have the opportunity to put non-triggers into your soul, filter your deck of non-triggers. Thus, when you go off and try and push your opponent, you're able to flip criticals and such more easily, and I'm playing 12 crits in this deck, so it should be very easy for me to crit my opponent to death, or hope to at least. And yeah, so let's get started. As is a Silver Thorn deck, I am running the Silver Thorn starter. This is Silver Thorn Beast Tamer Emil. Her effect is you put her into the soul and look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you choose a grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 from those and put them into the soul, and then you shuffle your deck. So she thins your deck of potentially 3 non-trigger units, and she can help fetch out a base Luquier so that you don't have to ride her, then cross-ride her. As Luquier, for the sheer expense that she is not that great. So yeah, this is one of the main stars of the deck, Silver Thorn Dragon Tamer Luquier, and she's from set 7, which is why she's so expensive, as nobody really bought that set, so there's not a whole lot of it in circulation, and therefore this is an incredibly overpriced card for what it is. And her effect is Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3, and call a grade 0, grade 1, and grade 3 Pale Moon from your deck to separate rearguard circles. Also, while she's in play, anytime you call a unit from your soul, she gets plus 3,000 power, but she's 10,000 base, which isn't that great, and you don't really want to be sitting on her for too long. You want to be able to put this into the soul via your other effects, but she's in here because she's a Luquier name, and you need to have those for your stride. And she has 2 very good cross rides. One of which is Silver Thorn Dragon Tamer, Dragon Queen, pardon me, Luquier Reverse. Luquier Reverse is pretty decent. Her effect is Limit Break 4, Counterblast 1, Lock 1, Pale Moon, and then you choose a Pale Moon from your soul and call it, and it gets plus 5,000. So you're pseudo-minusing yourself by giving up a unit in order to call out another unit that gets bigger. And it's an okay trade-off. I would build more around her, but the thing is, you have another alternative cross ride, which is just better than this, and we're just going to get right into it, and that is 4 copies of Silver Thorn Dragon Empress Venus Luquier. Venus is ridiculous. She has 2 effects, one of which is being a cross ride of Silver Thorn Dragon Tamer Luquier, so yeah, if you have this in the soul, you get plus 3 and plus 2, which is always great. And then her limit break is Counterblast 2 Silver Thorns, and then you choose up to 5 Silver Thorns from your soul, whose total sum is 6 or less, and call them the rearguard circles. So with this, you can call 2 3s, 2 2s, and 2 1s, or 5 1s. You can call out a number of things. She allows you to just make an entirely new board if your opponent nukes it, or just like get certain pieces missing that allow you to just combo off, as this deck likes to combo off with a certain grade 2 that gets really big for every unit you call out, and this could just allow that unit to get to big numbers. And basically, now that we have strides in the deck, you can just ride this stride until you're ready to go off with this and do so. As she's a bit costly. Counterblast 2 means you're only going to get that limit break off once or twice, but she is a very nice push play. Then for the grade 2s, 4 copies of Silver Thorn Upright Line. This card is basically Liberator Bruno for Silver Thorns. Every time you call another unit from your soul while he's in play, he gets plus 3. So, talking about that Venus turn I was talking, where like you basically have like no field, but you happen to be able to call out this plus 4 other units in play, you can very well get plus 12,000 with this guy. And you have other units that allow you to call more stuff out of soul, so basically the idea with this deck is you want to get this guy, maybe 2 of them in play, and just pump them up to giant levels of attack and just swing with them, as your opponent's going to be giving up a lot of guard in order to deal with big attacks from Upright Line, and he's so important that I'm running 4 of him. In addition to 4 of him, I'm running 4 copies of Silver Thorn Beast Tamer Maricia. Some of these names I'm not familiar with. Marisia is pretty solid. Her effect is when she's on Vanguard or Rearguard and she hits, you can kind of ask one to call a Silver Thorn Pale Moon out of your soul, and at the end of the turn it goes back in. So she enables you to rush a little bit, as she can attack, hit, call something out, and attack with that, and then at the end of the turn it goes back in the soul, so your opponent can't attack or snipe it off if they're playing a control deck. This deck is very trolly against control decks like Kagura and Narukami because your strongest units are not on field, they're in soul, ready for you to call back out if need be. And yeah, she just enables you to have a nice, strong turn 2 push, as you can just ride this or call it and attack, and they have to block both of these, otherwise you're just going to call out another unit and make a bigger push. And one of the stronger units that you can call out is just the 12k attacker for the subclan, Silver Thorn Rising Dragon. Only running 3 of them because I feel the other grade 2s are just much more important. Or the grade 1s. Let's see, I got my order mixed up a little bit, let me fix that. 4 copies of the Pale Moon Silver Thorn Perfect Guard. There's not much else to say. This is a clan though that will benefit from having the unflipping PG, as you do counterblast a lot in this deck, and just having that extra counterblast for Venus is really good. And then 4 copies of Silver Thorn Assistant Zelma. When you play this thing on Rearguard, you can choose a unit, another unit you control, put into the soul to call out any Silver Thorn other than this card, and it just allows you to pump up the upright line even further, call out units that allow you to filter your deck, and just basically it allows you to enable some of your plays. It sets up for your combo plays, and it allows you to just continue comboing. One of your combo pieces is Silver Thorn Dragon Assistant Erna. Her effect is when she's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, you check the top 2 cards of your deck, you put a Silver Thorn from one of those into the soul, and then put the other on bottom of the deck, so she just helps you filter your deck some more, take non-triggers, put them into the soul, and she's a good call off of Zelma, as she can just help you dig through your deck and make it so that when you get to the point where most of your deck is triggers, you'll start hitting them. I'm only running the 3 though, because I feel Zelma is a stronger choice, but I do like the idea of running 4 of these because of its on-ride skill. And running up the grade 1s, 3 copies of Silver Thorn Beast Tamer Anna. When she boosts and her attack hits the Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 to call Silver Thorn of the soul, and nothing goes back. It's just like Marisia, except obviously you have to be boosting, so it's a pretty good turn 2 call as well. You can put it behind a Marisia if you have 2 counterblasts, and if that Marisia hits, then you can counterblast 2 to call out an entire column, swing in that column, and it goes back into the end of the turn. Or you can have a Marisia line with something else behind it, and you can have this behind I don't know, a dragon. That way they have to block all those attacks saying that they hit, and this is a 19 line, so they have to drop 15k to block this. So I do like it. 3 is fine. You can also run the 10k attackers, but I do like how much this thing enables combos. And then for triggers, as I already mentioned, I'm running 12 grit. Because Silver Thorns don't have a lot of triggers, I've had to run some non-Silver Thorn trigs. Namely these triggers, they're all jugglers, so yeah, they work towards my special counterblasts. At the moment, Silver Thorns only have rainbow triggers, and I don't want to run that. I am thinking about running draws though. 4 of Viet and 4 heal, so just basic rush style, although again, draws might be helpful in keep maintaining your hand and digging into your combo pieces. And then finally, for the extra deck, I think it's pretty straightforward. 3 copies of Silver Thorn Dragon Master, Mystique Luquier. Mystique is, she's not something I would say generates advantage, but she does enable combos and help you set up towards weakness. As her effect is, if you have a Luquier Heart, so any one of these, so let's just do that, you can take 2 of your rear guards, move them into the soul, so we'll just put that and maybe that in there, and then you soul charge 2 and call out 2 units from your soul. So no direct advantage, but she can make upright line get plus 6,000, she can call out Zelmas to further pump up upright line, and it's just something you can do when you can't live break with Venus. And that's why I'm only running the 3 copies of her. I think 4 is too much. Next up, 3 copies of A Miracle of Luna Square Clifford. He's your on-hit stride, so if he hits, call a unit from Soul, gets plus 2. Combos really nicely with, what's her name, Anna? Yeah, it's Anna. Yeah, you can combo nicely with Anna, because if this hits, then you can call out 2 units. One of them goes back into the deck, into the Soul, and then the other one just stays in play. You might as well, you can have this guy call out a booster, and then have her call out a grade 2 attacker, that way they can't beat it over. Or you can call out a Zelma or an Erna. But yeah, I really do like this guy. I think he's going to be the stronger of the two options for the early to mid game, but as the game goes on, Mystique will be stronger. And then just rounding it out will be 2 Cray Elementals. I'm running just 1 Blizza and 1 Atmos. Atmos is just there for a big swing, and then Blizza is for later on when you've used a couple Mystic Luquiers and Flicker Scare. And then that's pretty much it for the deck itself. As I've already mentioned, I'm already giving it away to a friend for stuff, and some of those things I picked up will be useful for Yu-Gi-Oh! And a Metalborg core that I'm going to try and get rid of because I don't particularly care for Metalborgs or Dimension Police in general. And yeah, so it's just really funny. I go to the trouble of building this deck and I don't even have it, before I even have it done, it's already like traded. But that's just how popular this clan is. Like, it's really hard to build because so many of the cards are hard to find, but it's also fairly popular among the fan base just because it's one of the more unique clans. As far as Dark Zone clans go, I'd say it's the most entertaining to play with, as Dark to Regulus is just soul charge until you have a giant soul, swing and hope to kill them. Spike Brothers, you have your 1-turn Crush Rush, and then that's it. And then just recently, Gear Chronicle came out, but it's basically Kagero and Arakami, but for Dark Zone. And its control aspect is kind of neat, but it's also vanilla until Stride. Whereas Pale Moon is more explosive and combo-oriented. And yeah, this is all I gotta say. If you're playing Pale Moon, give me your thoughts on this, as I know my build is probably not perfect. You could probably tweak it here and there, but it's just a basic build I have to walk around the deck, and then I was going to upgrade it with Stride stuff, but not anymore. Now I can just do something else. Like, I picked up Gear Chronicle, so I have my Dark Zone clan, and basically, once I'm able to get a, what's it called, Stargate clan, then I'll have 1 clan for each nation, minimum 1, and that's basically the goal I'm trying with this game. So that's why you've seen so many decks as of late, as I have basically now 1 clan for each nation with the exception of Stargates, and I might do Nova Grappers for that one because I don't care for Dimension Police, and Link Joker, I don't like Stargater, and I'm afraid that Amnesty Messiah, Alter Ego Messiah, the Generation Rare from the next set is going to be really hard to get. Just, I'm hoping it's not going to be like Japan, but that's all then. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. As for what you can expect later on the blue corner, mentioned Sanctuary Guard a couple times now, so obviously that's next, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time, this is Blue Star 99, Jacking Nuts.